I'm actually going soon to have my driver's license photo taken again because it did expire and I'm having it renewed or whatever. And so that's kind of why I'm looking a little bit extra today. But other than that, I hope to resume to normal in the next video. So if you're expecting this to be like a continual thing, I'm not keeping this up.
Like, bro, you really expect me to look like that all the time? Do you understand the work? The work, bro. Brother.
Hi guys, and welcome to today's video, which I will be doing on how to be content. You know, I don't necessarily know you, I don't necessarily know the season you're in, but I do know that if you're human, we all have moments where we don't necessarily feel content in the season that we're in. Like, if we can be honest, as well as we might have it in life, we can always really think like, okay, I'm really looking forward to this part of my life, or when this happens, you know, like right now, I'm not exactly content. And so you are never alone at all in feeling, you know, like discontent, uncontent, not content in the season that you're in. You know, we've all been there, we've all done that. But like, I'm personally realizing that you're never going to be content unless you serve the season that you're in to the best of your abilities. Like, if you're so caught up on how things used to be, or you know, you're caught up on how you want things to be, you're never going to find peace in the right now, because you're literally thinking like the grass is greener on the other side. And like, the truth is, like, the grass can be greener on the other side, but where it's really greener is where you water it. And so, for example, if you're not content with your weight and you're really thinking like, okay, I want to lose weight, you're never going to be content in comparing yourself to other people or to another season of your life that you'd rather be in. You're only going to be content if you serve this season as best as you can. You know, this might not be the season where you necessarily look the way that you intended to look, but it can be the season where you put in the work. You go to the gym, you eat right. Like, this season can actually be a blessing if you actually serve it as best as you can. And then your contentment comes not necessarily from how you look, but the fact that you know that you're actually putting in work, and you know that you're actually doing something to benefit your right now and to benefit your tomorrow. Like, for those of you who don't know, I actually moved interstate in Australia. I was living independently and now I'm living back with my parents. You know, I was living in a nice suburb and now I'm actually living in the ghetto.
I'm in the ghetto.
Like, there was a season when I was waking up to good morning tags, and now like I wake up to the birds chirping. Like, there's really nothing else besides the birds, the crickets, you know what I mean? Like, but that's the thing, you know, with contentment, it's not necessarily about the situation you're in, but it's about your perspective, how you look at it. And you don't want to necessarily focus on what you had or what you could have, because then you miss the opportunities and you miss the blessings which are right in front of you. Like, in the Bible, in Philippians 4 verses 11 to 13, Paul said, "Not that I speak in regard to need, for I have learned in whatever state I am to be content. I know how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I have learned both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." And so you might not necessarily be in a situation like Paul, where you have to learn to be content being hungry and being full, but maybe in a different area of your life you are hungry. Maybe you're hungry for relationships, you're hungry for an opportunity, hungry for a job, hungry for attention from certain people, and you're trying to think like, how can I actually be content when I'm not living the life that I intended to live? I would literally miss all the blessings of singleness if I focus so much on, oh my gosh, I just want a relationship. Like, before Adam ever had Eve, Adam was an individual on his own. And so to whoever needs to hear it, like, your identity is independent of another person. I don't want anybody to ever think that your life begins once you're in a relationship, or that, you know, once you get your man or you get your woman, you know, that's when you can actually start doing all these things that you've been wanting to do. Like, I would rather paint my house with nail polish than for a man to come into my life and me be so desperate for him that I'm like clinging onto him, and he really thinks that like my world revolves around him. Like, my man, he's gonna have to pick up the pace if he wants to catch up to me. Like, I'm gonna be focused on myself. I'm gonna be focused on my relationship with God. I'm gonna be focused on my purpose. I'm gonna be focused on my degree. I'm gonna be a busy boss woman, because at the end of the day, I was content without him. I'm gonna be content with him. And if he left, I'm gonna still be content without him. Like, your contentment is never found in things or people, because if they come and if they go, like, then what? You end up feeling all uncontent, discontent, not content all over again. Serve the season that you are in as best as you can. If you are single and there are things you want to do, learn a bit of independence. Learn that, you know what, I'm gonna actually take myself out. Like, the other day, I wanted to go for a walk along the beach, and I didn't really want to go with my girls. Like, I wanted to go with, like, you know, a significant other or something. And then I really thought about it, and I was like, I'm gonna miss all these great things that I could be doing in life if I think I need somebody to then be content and to, like, do all these things and be happy. So I went ahead, I looked cute, I got into my exercise outfits, and I went for like a walk along the beach. I went for like a whole hike by myself, and I really enjoyed myself. I had my headphones in, I was literally listening to like this whole teaching on YouTube. Like, it was a great time. You actually learn so much about yourself, and you're actually preparing yourself for your next season when you serve this season well. But in saying all of that, you know, that does not mean that you don't necessarily have something that you're working towards in life. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't stop praying over your future. Like, there's even this story in the Bible of like this persistent widow, and she kept going to this judge and being like, look, I need justice for my adversary. And he was like, woman, I don't really give a damn. But this widow was persistent. She kept approaching the judge and being like, I want justice, you know, I want justice, I want my justice. And this judge was like, look, I don't even serve God, I'm not even here for this, but just for the sake that I'm over this woman and she keeps pestering me, I'm gonna give her justice. And the point of me saying that is that, like, God will never hear your prayers and be like, oh my gosh, can you shut up about this already? Like, he cares about what's on your heart. And so definitely continue going to God about the things you want for your future. Continue praying for yourself, for your future family, your future man, your future woman, your future job, your future everything. But serve the season you're in, you know, learn more about yourself, grow, allow there to be character development. Like, the Tendo you guys see today is not the Tendo I was like 3 years ago. And I hope in 3 years to come, I'm not gonna be the same person still. Like, we continuously evolve and we continuously grow, but that's never going to happen if I don't acknowledge where I'm at in life. And I need to ask myself, like, how can I change before my situation changes? You know, how can I evolve before my situation evolves? Someday you're gonna get all the things that you're hoping for, you know, if God wills it. But then what? You know, you just keep looking forward to the next season and to the next season. Live, you know, eat, enjoy people's company, drink, be merry, you know, enjoy life and enjoy this point you're in. Like, I'm so grateful that I'm not actually responsible for anybody else right now. You know, I can actually just focus on me, because someday, you know, I'm gonna actually be responsible for somebody else. And it's like, I may as well do these things that I can now, focus on what I do have and what I can do, instead of focusing on what I don't have and what I cannot do. Okay, so another thing that we're going to chuck in the bin is comparison. It is so easy to look at the next person and think like, I wish I had their life, you know, I wish I had their success. But at the end of the day, you don't know everybody's full story. Like, some people have actually suffered before they've received the blessings that they have. And you might just be looking at their blessings and think like, oh my gosh, that's what I want. They had to put in the work. They had to cry their tears. They had to go before God maybe. And so before you start thinking like, okay, the grass is greener on the other side, remember, the grass is greener where you water it. And so that's all I can really say for this video. Like, focus on yourself. Focus on the season you're in. Focus on serving this season as best as you can. So you're not just focused on the next, but you're actually saying, you know what, I'm content with where I'm at because I'm enjoying it and I'm actually taking steps to make sure that I enjoy it. Okay, my loves, I do have to go, but before I do, I will say a quick prayer. So, dear God, I just want to thank you for whoever is listening to this video. I just want to pray that you please help them to find contentment, God, and to find peace within themselves. I pray that you please help them to serve this season as best as they can, God, and to enjoy it and see the blessings and opportunities within it, God, and not just dwell on what could be, what should be, but to dwell on what is, God. I just pray that you please help us to put in the work, God, to love ourselves, to love others, and to love you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Okay guys, my air kisses and then I'm done. So, I hope this video made sense. I hope it was a blessing, you know. We'll see really how you guys respond. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna catch you guys. Bye. Uh-huh.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just doing a video.
Know how I feel. Why would you say that? Like, you put me in such an uncomfortable situation.